Atlanta, Georgia, July 19th, 1996, 11:47 p.m. The Olympic Stadium holds 83,000 people. Every seat filled, millions more watching on television across 214 countries. The opening ceremony has been building toward this moment for 3 hours. Performances, speeches, the parade of nations, all of it leading to the final act, the lighting of the Olympic flame, the symbolic moment that officially opens the Games. Nobody knows who will light it. The identity is a closely guarded secret. Speculation has run wild for weeks. Carl Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Hank Aaron, any number of Atlanta legends or American athletic icons. The torch has made its journey across America, passed from hand to hand, runner to runner, city to city, building anticipation, building symbolism, building toward this moment when one person, chosen to represent the Olympic spirit, will climb the stairs and light the cauldron that will burn for the next 16 days. Inside a private room beneath the stadium, Muhammad Ali sits in a folding chair. He's 54 years old, wearing a white Olympic tracksuit, the jacket zipped to his chin, white pants, white shoes, simple, clean, the uniform of an athlete, even though he hasn't competed in 15 years. Hasn't thrown a punch in anger since 1981. Hasn't been in a boxing ring since his body finally betrayed him and forced him to stop doing the only thing he ever wanted to do. His hands shake, not from nerves, from Parkinson's disease. The tremor is constant now, has been for years. Gets worse when he's tired, when he's stressed, when he tries to hold something still. His left hand tremors more than his right. His fingers curl slightly. His wrist rotates in small involuntary movements. The disease has been stealing him piece by piece since the mid-1980s. The price of a lifetime of head trauma, of taking punches from the hardest hitters in boxing history, of 30 years in the ring absorbing damage that his brain could hide for decades but couldn't escape forever. His wife, Lonnie, stands beside him. She's been his anchor through this, through the diagnosis, through the deterioration, through the public's difficulty understanding what happened to the loud, brash, beautiful man who floated like a butterfly and stung like a bee. That man is still in there, still thinking, still aware, still Muhammad Ali, but his body won't cooperate anymore. His hands won't stop shaking. His face is frozen into what doctors call a Parkinsonian mask. The expressive features that once sold 1 million tickets now struggle to show emotion. The voice that once rang out prophecies and poems now speaks in soft, slurred syllables that people strain to hear. Billy Payne, president of the Atlanta Olympic Committee, enters the room. He's nervous. This was his idea, his vision, to have Ali light the torch, to give the world this moment. But now, watching Ali's hands shake, watching him struggle to hold a cup of water, Payne feels doubt creeping in. This is live television, global audience, 3.5 billion people watching. What if Ali can't do it? What if his hands shake too much? What if he drops the torch? What if the world watches him fail in front of everyone? Payne approaches carefully, speaks quietly. Muhammad, we're about 10 minutes away. How are you feeling? Are you sure you want to do this? We can make a change if you need. No shame, no judgment. Just want you to be comfortable. Ali looks at him. The Parkinsonian mask makes it hard to read his expression, but his eyes are clear, sharp, present. He doesn't speak immediately. Speaking takes effort now, takes concentration, takes gathering the words and forcing them through a body that doesn't want to cooperate. Finally, in that soft, slurred voice that still somehow carries authority, he says, "I'm fine. Let's do this." Lonnie squeezes his shoulder. She knows what this means to him. Knows he's been planning for this moment since Payne first approached him 6 months ago. Knows he's been practicing at home, holding objects, testing his grip, timing his tremors, figuring out when his hands are steadiest. Knows he would rather die than back out now. Would rather fail in front of the world than not try. Because that's who Muhammad Ali is. Always has been. Someone who shows up, who faces a challenge, who refuses to let fear or disability or the opinions of others determine what he can do. Outside in the stadium, The ceremony continues. Janet Evans, the Olympic swimmer, has been carrying the torch around the track. The crowd cheering, the cameras following, everyone assuming she'll climb the stairs and light the cauldron herself. But she stops at the base of a ramp, looks up, and there, emerging from the shadows, backlit by stadium lights, is Muhammad Ali. The crowd recognizes him instantly. The silhouette, the height, the presence, even diminished, even shaking, even struggling, Muhammad Ali is unmistakable. The roar that erupts is primal, visceral. 83,000 people on their feet screaming. Not polite applause, not respectful recognition. Raw emotion, shock, joy, disbelief. Ali, it's Ali. Muhammad Ali is going to light the Olympic flame. In living rooms across the world, people stop breathing. In sports bars, conversations cease. In homes where multiple generations have gathered to watch, grandparents who remember Ali in his prime now watch him shuffle slowly into the light, hands shaking, face frozen, body betraying him with every step. And they start crying, not from pity, from something else, from witnessing courage, from seeing a man who once moved faster than anyone alive now moving slowly, deliberately, refusing to hide, refusing to let disease define him, choosing to stand in front of billions and show them what remains when speed and beauty and physical perfection are gone. Janet Evans hands Ali the torch. This is the moment of maximum risk. The torch is heavy, awkward, unwieldy. Ali's hands are shaking visibly. The world can see it, can see him struggle to grip the handle, can see the tremor travel up his arm, can see the effort it takes for him to just hold the torch steady enough to keep the flame from wavering too much. But he has it. He's holding it, his right hand gripping the bottom, his left hand steadying the top, both hands shaking, the flame dancing. But he has it. He's not dropping it. He's not backing down. He's doing what he came to do. He begins to climb the ramp. It's not a long walk, maybe 40 feet, a gentle incline, something any healthy person could walk in seconds without effort. But for Ali, each step is a negotiation with his body. Each movement requires conscious thought. Lift foot, move forward. Plant foot, balance. Repeat. His pace is slow, measured. The stadium is silent now. Nobody cheering. Nobody making a sound. 83,000 people holding their breath, watching every step, willing him forward, silently begging him to make it. In the NBC broadcast booth, Bob Costas is supposed to be narrating, supposed to be providing context and commentary, and filling the silence with professional observation, but he can't speak. His voice catches. His eyes fill. He just watches. Lets the moment speak for itself. Because there are no words adequate for what's happening. No commentary that wouldn't diminish what the world is witnessing. Ali reaches the top of the ramp. The cauldron awaits. It's a mechanized system. He doesn't have to throw the torch or make some athletic gesture. Just needs to touch the torch to the mechanism, and the flame will travel up cables to ignite the massive cauldron that will burn throughout the games. Simple, straightforward, except his hands are shaking so badly now that connecting the torch to the mechanism requires precision he's not sure he has. He extends his arms, the torch wavering, his whole body trembling from the effort of holding it extended, his Parkinson's conspiring against him, making this simple task almost impossible. The flame dances, comes close to the mechanism, pulls away, comes close again. The world watches. Time dilates. Seconds feel like minutes. Every person watching feels the strain, feels the effort, feels the determination, and then connection. The torch touches the mechanism. The flame catches, travels up the cables, ignites the cauldron. The Olympic flame erupts into the night sky. Fireworks explode. The crowd roars. The sound is deafening, overwhelming, not celebrating the lighting of a flame, celebrating the man who did it, celebrating the courage it took to stand there shaking, celebrating the refusal to hide, celebrating the statement that disease doesn't erase who you are. That Parkinson's didn't take Muhammad Ali. It changed him, slowed him, made life harder. But it didn't take him. Ali stands there for a moment, torch still in his shaking hands, flame still burning, looking at what he just accomplished. And for just a second, if you know where to look, you can see it. A slight smile, breaking through the Parkinsonian mask. A moment of satisfaction, of pride, of knowing he did it. Did what many people thought he couldn't do. Did what some people said he shouldn't do. Did what his disease tried to prevent. He did it anyway. The cameras stay on him. Close-ups. Every network. Every broadcast. The world seeing his face. Seeing the tremor. Seeing the disease. Seeing all of it. No hiding. No pretending. No vanity. Just Muhammad Ali in 2023 as he is in 1996. Diminished physically. Undiminished in spirit. Showing the world that courage isn't the absence of limitation. It's showing up despite limitation. It's doing the thing when your body fights you, when people doubt you, when the easy path is to decline and protect your image and let someone else have the moment. In homes across America, grown men cry. Tough guys who've never shed a tear over a sporting event find themselves sobbing watching Ali shake. Veterans who fought in Vietnam, who once burned Ali in effigy for refusing the draft, now weep seeing him represent America on the world stage. Young athletes who never saw Ali box but know his name, know his legend, now understand that greatness isn't just about what you do when you're strong. It's about who you are when strength fails. The NBC cameras cut to reaction shots. Evander Holyfield in the crowd, tears streaming. Carl Lewis, hand over his mouth, crying openly. Janet Evans, who just handed Ali the torch, sobbing. Athletes from dozens of countries, competitors who will spend the next 2 weeks trying to beat each other, united in this moment, united in witnessing something transcendent, something beyond sport, beyond nationalism, beyond competition, pure human courage on display. The moment doesn't last long. Maybe 90 seconds total from when Ali appeared to when he lit the flame. 90 seconds that feel eternal. 90 seconds that will be replayed for decades. 90 seconds that define what the Olympics are supposed to be about. Not winning, not medals, not national pride. Human potential, human spirit, humans overcoming, humans refusing to quit, humans showing the world what remains when everything else is stripped away. Ali walks slowly back down the ramp, his job done, the flame burning behind him. Janet Evans meets him at the bottom, hugs him, cries into his shoulder. Ali's arms wrap around her, still shaking, but steady enough to comfort someone else, steady enough to be present, steady enough to do what he's always done, make people feel like they matter, like they're part of something important, like witnessing greatness isn't about perfection, it's about humanity. Backstage, away from cameras, Ali sits down heavily, the adrenaline draining, the exhaustion hitting. Lonnie brings him water, helps him hold the cup because his hands are shaking too badly to manage alone. He drinks, says nothing, doesn't need to. Everyone in that room knows what just happened, knows what they witnessed, knows they'll never see anything like it again. Billy Payne approaches. His earlier doubts now seem absurd. He had worried about Ali failing, worried about the optics, worried about protecting Ali's image. Now, he understands he had it backwards. Ali didn't need protection. The world needed to see this. Needed to see that heroes don't stop being heroes when they get sick. That legends don't stop being legendary when they slow down. That Muhammad Ali shaking is still Muhammad Ali. Still the greatest. Still the man who changed boxing, changed sports, changed America. Just older now. Slower now. Fighting a different opponent. But still fighting. Still refusing to surrender. Still showing up. Payne says, Muhammad, that was perfect. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. For giving us that moment. The world needed to see that. Ali looks at him. Takes a moment to form the words. Then says quietly, I needed to do it. Needed to show them I'm still here. Disease doesn't define me. I define me. And there it is. The core of it. The reason this moment matters so much. Because everyone watching knows that someday, somehow, something will diminish them too. Age, illness, injury, loss, Something will take away the thing they do best, the thing that makes them who they are. And when that happens, they'll have a choice. Hide, surrender, let the diminishment define them, or do what Ali just did. Show up anyway. Do the thing despite the limitation. Prove that who you are isn't what you can do. It's what you choose to do when doing it becomes hard. The days following the torch lighting, the story dominates every news cycle. Not the games themselves, not the competitions, not the medals. Ali. Everyone wants to talk about Ali, about what it meant to see him shake, about whether it was appropriate to put him in that position, about whether he should have been shielded from public view, about whether witnessing his decline is inspirational or exploitative. Ali doesn't engage with the debate, doesn't issue statements, doesn't defend his choice, just exists, just continues being Muhammad Ali with Parkinson's disease. Not Muhammad Ali, the tragedy. Not Muhammad Ali, the victim. Muhammad Ali, the man who happens to have a disease, who happens to shake, who happened to light the Olympic flame in front of 4 billion people, because when they asked him if he could do it, he said yes. Other Parkinson's patients speak out, saying they felt seen, felt represented, felt like Ali gave them permission to stop hiding, to stop pretending they're fine, to stop letting shame about their limitations keep them isolated. One man writes a letter that gets published in newspapers nationwide. He says, "I was diagnosed with Parkinson's 3 years ago. I've been hiding it from everyone except my immediate family, wearing long sleeves to hide my tremor, avoiding social situations where people might notice, living in fear of being discovered. Then I watched Muhammad Ali climb those stairs on the biggest stage in the world with his hands, shaking for everyone to see. And I realized I've been making myself smaller to make other people more comfortable. If Muhammad Ali can stand in front of 4 billion people and shake, I can stand in front of my neighbors and friends. He gave me permission to stop hiding, to be myself, disease and all." That letter captures why the moment mattered, why it transcended sport or spectacle or national pride. Because Ali didn't just light a flame. He lit a path, showed people dealing with their own limitations, their own diminishments, their own struggles that visibility isn't weakness, that letting people see you struggle isn't failure, that asking for help isn't surrender, that showing up imperfect is better than not showing up at all. The Olympic flame burns for 16 days. Athletes from around the world compete, win medals, break records, have their moments. But years later, when people remember the 1996 Olympics, they don't remember the 100-meter dash or the gymnastics or the basketball. They remember Ali, remember his hands shaking, remember the courage it took to climb that ramp, remember how it felt to watch him refuse to let disease erase him. In 2016, 20 years after lighting the torch, Ali dies. Parkinson's disease, which he fought for 32 years, finally claims him. The tributes pour in from around the world. Presidents, athletes, celebrities, regular people whose lives he touched. And almost every tribute mentions that moment, that torch, that climb, that refusal to hide. One tribute, from a Parkinson's neurologist, explains what many people didn't understand. Parkinson's patients often experience performance anxiety. The stress of being watched makes symptoms worse. The tremor increases. Motor control decreases. For Ali to choose to light that torch, knowing billions will watch, knowing his symptoms will be amplified by stress and exhaustion and the weight of the moment, that wasn't just courage. That was a conscious choice to prioritize a message over his comfort, to prioritize showing other Parkinson's patients they don't have to hide over protecting his own dignity. That's not just brave. That's sacrificial. Because that's what it was. Sacrifice. Ali could have said no, could have declined the honor, could have protected his image, let people remember him as a young, fast, beautiful boxer instead of the old, slow, shaking man. But that would have been a lie. Would have suggested that disease is shameful, that aging is something to hide, that diminishment makes you less worthy of being seen. Ali rejected that entirely, said yes, climbed the ramp, let the world watch him shake. and in doing so, gave permission to millions of people to stop hiding their own struggles, to stop pretending strength they don't have, to stop letting shame about limitation keep them isolated. The torch itself, the actual physical torch Ali held, is now in the Smithsonian, in a display about the 1996 Olympics. You can see it if you visit, can read about that night, can watch footage of Ali climbing the ramp. But the real legacy isn't in a museum. It's in the people who watched that moment and changed how they saw themselves, changed how they saw disability, changed how they saw aging, changed how they understood courage. Because courage isn't fighting when you're strong. It's showing up when you're weak. Courage isn't performing when everything works. It's trying when your body betrays you. Courage isn't hiding your limitations. It's displaying them and doing the thing anyway. That's what Ali taught the world in 90 seconds on a July night in Atlanta. That disease doesn't erase greatness. Age doesn't diminish significance. Limitation doesn't mean you have nothing to offer. So here's the question. What are you hiding? What limitation are you ashamed of? What struggle are you keeping private? Because you're afraid of what people will think. What version of yourself are you refusing to show the world because it's not perfect, not strong, not the image you want to project? Because Ali's hands shook in front of 4 billion people, and instead of diminishing him, it elevated him, made him more human, more relatable, more inspiring. Showed that the man who once floated like a butterfly was still the greatest, even when he could barely hold a torch steady. That greatness isn't about perfection. It's about showing up. It's about doing the thing when the thing is hard. It's about letting people see you struggle and doing it anyway. Muhammad Ali climbed 90 feet with shaking hands and lit a flame that burned for 16 days. But the fire he started in hearts watching that night, that still burns. That will burn as long as people need reminding that you don't have to be perfect to be worthy. That limitation doesn't mean you have nothing to offer. That showing up imperfect is courage to find. That's the legacy, not the torch. The truth, that greatness isn't the absence of struggle. It's showing the world your struggle and refusing to let it stop you.